I need to drink some water because I forgot to drink water the entire day. Be sure to drink water. You need it. You can only go a week without water, but by the first day, dehydration really starts to sink in. It's really not good. Ah, water. Never have you tasted so good. Is this painting? No, that's tools that I can never remember the name of. Why am I so short? I can't jump, I got old man knees.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Very nicely furnished. Oh, I already took a shard. Ooh, an elevator. Let's go down. Ooh, this is my name. I just went in a circle. But anyway, I like that music.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Not a bad thing.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud.
It's meant to be an introvert.
Nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be?
I wonder what.
In fact,
Calculator.
this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Probability of that happening is very low.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Loading. Did it break or something?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Minde controle facilitate. Let's go.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Open sesame.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nope. So we go back to my bed.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, it really does mean nothing. There's no real true freedom, is there?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Gives me X-Men vibes.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this
Matrix
the only reason
vibes.
he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Not the first time.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
Yeah.
His own life in someone else's control? Never.
You
It
tell
was
Narrator.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would
Yeah, sorry for cutting you off. But, you're kind of narrating a bit too long. Hello?
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Am I dead?
Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Yeah.
How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, that's nice. I beat the game. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. It's never the end. And I'm back to the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to... Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Oh, what's this? Oh great, the end is never the end, is never the end. I've never been on a roller coaster.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I hate syringes.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Oh, was that the original game? That was all from the original? Huh. Oh, convenient.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap, it's already been an hour.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there
That's
we
what I
go.
was gonna say.
All right,
Oh.
finally, at long
we go.
last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Narnia, here I come.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The content. Sound like a hungry content creator, jeez.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Let's go! I can find the jump! Wait, can I? Why can I? Just for old man joints. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oi. Jackwad, give me more jumps. Okay. That was mean.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
There's a narrator.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
Talk for yourself.
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
Yes.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there.
That's
Hell,
boring.
I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good.
So stop
Yes.
complaining.
I knew there had to be something else.
Uh-huh.
Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Blinds. And death.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Oh, please do.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game?
Oh, come on.
And we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
He's
What
a
do
bit
you
lonely.
say, friend?
You're a bit lonely. You need more friends. Oh boy, here he goes. Dude, you need friends. Wait a minute. That is absolutely hilarious. Very funny. Oh, my mug.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Did I just die? We'll never listen to him again.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
What
Just
the?
our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow. And it's...
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
No.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Time's a bit off. You know, I never actually played the game. This was the first for me. Don't play for 5 years. It's impossible to get this achievement. We'll see about that. Wait a minute. British Academic Award. Debut game. Story. Nice. Oh, there's me dead.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
So what are you doing
It's just
here?
a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Sorry for that, mate. Wait, now my feet are gonna get wet. God damn it. Oh, that's a lot of buttons. I'm gonna check that out in a bit.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Oh, that's
I haven't
where I
looked
did
at
it on.
these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
So muddy. Oh, it's funny, it's raining here too. I can't read it.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
Well...
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
Sorry, mate.
These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure.
No!
Like I let these people down.
No.
Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
No, you did fine, mate. You did fine. Oh, now you're making me feel bad for you. No, you made me nuke myself. No, you're not that... Is that a bucket? Are those wine glasses? Oh, fragile. Just like break it. What happened to the rain? Did it stop? What does it say here? I can't read. Come on, let me in. Boy, I think I
What's
want
this one
more.
got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
What?
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes,
Anything?
a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
Huh?
It's not unendurable by... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
12?
You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
Oh, no.
Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been,
I'm
right?
curious.
Me talking, and you saying nothing.
I'm sorry, mate.
Oh, hello, it's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
No.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley.
Sorry.
Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible, the spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience, and then this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Batman? Sorry, my... Hello? Narrator. Yoo-hoo! And atomic key. What's that? You know what? Okay.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he went, shut up! It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves, they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amused them endlessly from start to finish.
So amusing.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition.
Hello? Narrator! Yoo-hoo! The poor guy, he really needs some friends. He's been alone for way too long. Considering I'm his only company, that's not a good thing.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the.
Why does it seem like the leakage is getting even worse now? Oh, that's not good. Wait, how long have I been in here? Oh, jeez. Odd phenomenon. The plan's gone. You know, this is not that bad. The hell happened? That's ominous. What the hell happened to make all the vegetation like just go away? I'm free? That's odd. What? Don't tell me I died of heat stroke. I mean, I wasn't even out for that long. Oh wait, but would I need to eat, drink, anything? What the? Oh, great.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm curious.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I can tell.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Whoops. Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yeah,
Perhaps
I
he
don't
wanted to
want
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper. Something darker.
Darker? Seriously? What's with corporations like in white and blue?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Yes.
Really worth it.
Exactly. That's my thought, narrator. Damn, we're in sync, man. A coffee machine.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
Wow.
It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Boy, that's not cool, man. I doubt they left because of me. Probably left because our boss probably an
Stanley
ass.
sat around waiting for more dialogue.
No, I did not.
But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
No. No, perfectly content being in this room. It makes funky noise when I'm walking. They're gonna be able to take a nap in here. I doubt they left because of me. They probably left because of you. Or a jackass of a boss. I'm kinda hungry. Maybe I should go eat something. Ooh, cold drinks. I don't got money. Oh, I can sit in chairs. JKLMNOPQR. Damn, roses have so many different colors. Did you know that black means the black version? Its symbolic meaning is beauty, death, farewell, hatred, impending death, birth, and rejuvenation. Jeez. Pink has the most of them. Holy hell. Ooh, some folklore and facts about roses. In the 1840s, there was a rosa collection over 1,000 different cultivars, varieties, and species planted at the Victorian Arboretum and non-denominational cemetery in England called Abney Park Cemetery, which operated from 1840 to around 1978, which is now a public park. That's kind of funky. In Roman times, a wild rosa would be put on the door of a room where confidential matters are being held. Hence the term sub rosa, which means under the rose, and now means to keep a secret. Plant rosa in the garden to attract fairies to it. Scatter rosa petals around the home to alleviate stress and household problems that have surfaced and are upsetting. Interesting. Yeah, let's continue.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Yep. What the?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
Whoops.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
And everyone thinks you're patronizing. And don't need to be like that. You can just tone it down a smidge.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Heck yeah. I won't go back to my room. Let me go back to my house.
Oh good, you notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Nope. There's something... Why can't I... Boring. Let's see how exciting this will be. What the? The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. It's a bit too hasty skipping towards the beginning. Again? Oh boy, this thing again.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Wait, what?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Huh. It definitely looks interesting.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
No, it gives a
Ultra
Pokemon
Deluxe.
feeling.
What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Whatever you say. I honestly think that Ultra Deluxe gives it a Pokemon vibe. Oh no, the fern.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
Seriously?
But let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
So much buzzing. Well, I'm intrigued. The amount of effort it took to create this, jeez.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Yes,
So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim.
Seriously?
But of course, in the final game,
Well.
this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here,
Oh, thank
let's have
you.
you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
I'm in
Just play along.
gymnasium.
I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want
Jim
you
was
to
an
imagine
asshole.
yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Jeez.
Do you feel it deeply?
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button.
I knew Jim.
Otherwise,
He was
it's
a
just a
jackass.
stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim,
Seriously, you call me a
rediscovering
druggie?
yourself through fringe religious groups as Jim, and finally dying a slow death at an old age, surrounded by members of your cult as Jim.
Why am I in a
Do you
cult
feel
now?
it in your soul? Are you really, truly Jim
Yeah,
right now?
Jim in a cult.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only
my
new
God.
feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
I believe you.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Seriously.
I'm putting the Jim button away.
t-
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
No, not the gym bun. Man, allow me to enjoy the bun. That was hella fun, actually. Ooh, imagine that button would be fun to press. The small one would be a tad bit annoying, but that bun was interesting. I knew a kid named Jim. He was kind of an
I
ass.
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, I
That
noticed
would
that.
actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Ooh, bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
Where's the bucket?
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind. And
I
your
want a
heart.
bucket.
It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Give me the bucket.
You may even come to
want the bucket.
long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable.
It's called
Can you
laziness.
imagine what a pain in the ass that would be?
Yeah,
yes,
it's called laziness.
The bucket is the perfect solution.
Give me the bucket.
Come on, give it a try.
I got the bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact,
got a bucket.
can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Why, thank you.
I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Okay.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
They do.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable too.
What? I'm keeping the bucket. I can keep the bucket. Let's go.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I don't think so.
That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Ooh, give me the black shirt. That's a nice one. Oh, I wonder if that QR code actually works. I don't carry money on me. Let's see. Office decoration, reassurance. I guess I'm going to test this one next. Who? Is that me? Damn, I look hella ugly. Wait a minute, I didn't explore one more spot. Wait a minute. Oh, why is it so loud? The baby? What baby? Did I miss something? Squiggly, scrunkly. Wait a minute.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Go away.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
I want to enjoy my bucket. What? No, I can't jump. Shut my door. Shut my door. You're an asshole. Oh, easy achievement. Let's go.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this leave. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you. I promise it will happen.
Damn it.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I got no idea. I'm not going to get any order.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's
Really?
right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Huh. Sure as heck looks interesting. Okay. Tally-ho!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One
Where's
of my
the light
more
coming from?
ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Or else what?
We do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why? You hiding something?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
Why, thank
Look,
you.
I
Yep.
think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What
You wouldn't
normal
believe how
person
much.
actually wants to fall infinitely?
Who said I'm
I
normal?
figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we
Excuse
just
you?
put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite?
I call it half infinite.
I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Why am I so loud? Oh, there's an exit.
Oh, goodness, Stanley, this is fairly awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to the collectibles exhibit. You see, there is a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves the collectibles.
All
And I
right,
really do
go on.
hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles, okay? All right,
I'm
I'll get out of
going.
your hair now.
Yeah, you better.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And
Where?
what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Where the hell am I? Did I get stuck? Huh. Those look absolutely fascinating. Whoa! Oh, that's not at all terrifying. Oh, yay! Go Scrunkly!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I disagree, but okay.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and happy 12th birthday. Which would you go with?
12-year-old to work with me? Heck no. This one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Wow. Why'd you even bother asking? The audacity of some people.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Where didn't I go yet?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, Narrator? It's just there. Where haven't I gone? Oh yeah, exit. Actually glad he put a map. It's very helpful. I haven't used it yet, but don't try to stop me. Don't try to stop me. What's with these mugs? That's definitely a new one.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I like the
know it's
bucket.
not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes.
You got this.
This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
It's just as pathetic, man.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
Yep.
And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the
give a
vision
bucket.
and integrity of the original game.
Add a bucket.
Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Okay. Nice.